Work is important. In the Netherlands, the aim is that everyone works, both men and women, so each has his or her own income. This applies to women with children too. One of the first questions a Dutch person will ask you is,
Wat voor werk doe jij?
What kind of work do you do?
no answer means no job.
Zodra je in Nederland bent,
When you get to the Netherlands, you'll need to find work as soon as possible. Because once you've got a job, you've got your own income. Besides, you'll get to know other people more quickly and learn to speak Dutch more quickly. If you work, you're part of it all. People take you seriously. It's important to find work which suits your knowledge and experience.
maar het is moeilijk om dergelijk werk te vinden.
But that's not easy. The service sector is where most work is. There are also jobs in transport, in security, and in the care sector. You'll need a good education for these jobs. There are fewer and fewer jobs in agriculture and industry. As a recent immigrant, there are still jobs in cleaning and sanitation and in market gardening. For other work, you need to be able to speak, read and write proper Dutch.
Juist omdat bij
As
migranten
unemployment
de
among
werkloosheid
migrants is greater than amongst Dutch people, you may have to go through quite a lot of trouble to get a job, and you may well have to be content with a job below your capacity.
Het is niet makkelijk om werk te vinden zonder
It's not
Nederlands.
easy finding a
Maar,
job when you don't
via
speak
uitzendbureau
Dutch,
heb ik,
but I found a job working in a warehouse in Amersfoort through an agency.
Stel, je bent kok in Turkije.
Suppose you were a cook in Turkey, and then you come to Holland. You may want to work as a cook again, but that's easier said than done. You've built up a life for yourself in Turkey and everything was going just fine until you were 30. You met a wonderful person, you fell in love, but then you come here and you have to start all over again. You need to realize what that means before you even decide to come here.
Ik heb ook een tijdje als kassier gewerkt.
I worked as a cashier as well for a while.
Ik heb ook als een
And
vaatwasser,
I washed dishes too.
Maar één ding
But
die
one
ik
thing
heb
I've
geleerd
learned
is dat je
you
heel
need
goed
to
Nederlands
learn
leert.
Dutch really well.
Dus ik heb mijn
So
best
I
gedaan
tried my
om
hardest
tijdens mijn
while I was doing my
inburgeringscursus.
naturalization course,
En,
and
het was
it
niet
wasn't
makkelijk, het
easy.
was heel,
It was really
zwaar.
hard.
Het is buitengewoon belangrijk om
Apart from the language, it's really important to think, how can I make progress? How can I create opportunities for myself? Or make use of the opportunities there are in Holland? And there are opportunities, lots of them. So I can develop myself further.
Is er mogelijkheid, ik zou bij jou...
A lot of people try to find work through friends or family. People who already know Holland can sometimes be of help.
Wat valt er dan te doen? Gedaan, nee.
Another way of finding work is to look at the advertisements every day.
Wie werk
If
zoekt
you're
moet zich
looking for
inschrijven
work, you'll
bij
have to
het
register at the CWI, het Centrum voor Werk en Inkomen, the Employment and Income Center. There's one in every district for anyone looking for work.
Computers staan vacatures.
They have computers with vacancies from the entire area, but you are supposed to actively seek work yourself.
Zo zijn er uitzendbureaus.
There are employment agencies, for instance, where you can get temporary work. Temporary work lasts for a shorter period. It may be a few weeks or a few months. But a temporary job can be a good step towards getting a permanent job later.
Want als je laat
Because
zien
if you
wat je
show
kunt,
what you can
heb je
do,
kans
there's a chance that your temporary employer will want to keep you on. Or you can show another employer that you have experience. It is more difficult for migrants to find work than for Dutch people. There are often rules at work which are not written down anywhere, and most Dutch people will know them. But migrants often won't. For example, it's important to turn up exactly on time for a job interview. And it's also important that you look smart, and you should introduce yourself as soon as you come in. You should look people in the eye. If you don't do that, people think you're not interested.
Hallo?
And making phone calls during a job interview is just asking for trouble.
Nee, tot ziens alsjeblieft.
Actually, migrants have to perform better if they want to break through prejudices and win an employer's trust. There is a good chance that your degree or diploma will be worth less in the Netherlands than in your country. To find out what you can do with your qualifications, have them assessed here at the CWI. I've got a copy here of a diploma from a Spanish secretarial college. How do I find out what I can do with it in Holland? We take the diploma and send it to another organization. They can translate it into Dutch and assess its value. In other words, they compare the course with the Dutch course. And how did you find work here? I started here 3 years ago as an apprentice. And after my course, I was given a job as an advisor. So I've been working here since then, for about 2 years.
Je kunt ook je eigen bedrijf beginnen.
You can also start your own business. In practice, this often turns out to be trickier than most people think. But fortunately, there are people who have proven that you can be very successful, like Rahma El Mouden. Rahma, hi.
Jij hebt een eigen bedrijf.
You've got your own business. You've got a cleaning business employing more than 300 people. How did you manage to be so successful?
Door hard te werken.
Through hard work, that's the first thing, I think. And also by keeping my eyes on the goal I'd set myself. I really wanted to achieve something in this foreign country, I think. And how did you do it? Well, it was important, of course, to get the training. If I hadn't trained in the first 14 years, then I don't think things would have gone so well for me, as with many others. I'd probably still be cleaning myself. You started off as a cleaner, right? Yep, I cleaned from 1970 until 1980. And what happened then? Well, I went to college and did a course in the Dutch language. And from there, a course in cleaning and sanitation. And that's how I got to the point when I eventually thought, you know, I'm going to start up for myself. Hey, I thought, A, I know more about this business than most people anyway. And B, I know a lot about foreigners too. I read and write the same language as these people. So if I treat them better too and give them a chance, it'll be a big success. What do you think is the most important thing people need to be successful in Holland? The language? The language. I think language is very important anyway. If you look at all the people who have been successful here, whether they've got their own business or an important job or something else, they all speak the language. I think when a woman is able to trust her surroundings a bit, she's more mobile, and that gives her confidence. And if she feels self-confident, she only gains more respect. When a woman is emancipated, everybody gains by it. Her family, her husband, and society. Everybody gains by it. Everyone has to pay tax on the salary one earns from one's work. With these taxes, social benefits can be paid out to people who are unemployed, for instance, if they're seriously ill. As someone coming to either form a family or to be reunited with family, you're not entitled to benefits. Your partner will have to provide your income.
In Nederland is iedereen rijk.
In the Netherlands, everyone is rich. At least that's what you often hear from people who don't live in the Netherlands. But not everyone in Holland is rich, by a long way. Even when people live in big houses, they can have major money problems. A lot of families have financial problems. It may seem that people earn a lot of money here, but it costs a lot to support yourself here. Watch this. Suppose this is your monthly income. You can immediately subtract the rent for your accommodation, the bill for gas, electricity and light, the telephone bill, taxes for water, refuse collection and your house, all the insurance. Holland is a country where people have to be insured for almost everything. The television connection, membership fees for the sports club, the library, newspapers, magazines, travel by bus or by train, food every day, clothes. And of course, you'll probably need to buy something for the house, have to pay for something extra you hadn't expected. You'll need to work out exactly what you spend each month for everything.
Want Nederland is
Because
duur.
Holland
En
is
alles
expensive.
kost geld.
And everything costs money.
Succes!
Good luck!